put you in a pickle, just make sure it's kosher. Lean on me like Bill Withers until you smell the roses. And if you wanna be a chef, then I say cook it up. And if you wanna be the champ, well I say hook it up. Cause I can never tell you what you can't be. Yes I can, see a failure is something you can't be. Plus, I get you a shuttle if you feel that you need space. The sky's the limit, get you wings for your birthday. Whatever makes you happy, if you like it, then I love it. Turning nothing into something, I'm all in and I ain't bluffing. I'm who you got when the world ain't got your back, man. I pull over when life puts you in the fast lane. I'm in your corner like Bandini, if you tumble, I'll tell you like him. Rumble, young man, rumble, see. Some women go cause I ain't make them happiest. But who am I to impede on somebody's happiness? I guess I learned a lot by going with the flow of things. You fight the current like Simon, we die and go insane. That's why I stay up in my lane, just be a lyricist. And yes, I'm multifaceted, but not omnipotent. And what I do know is we all gon' have a path to take. And I won't be the one that's standing in somebody's way. There ain't no perfect life or perfect way to get success. But there's a perfect way to take the time to be yourself. And you gon' find it when you find it, ain't no rushing that. Too many get running this rat race, how many gon' just relax? When life ain't just about money, Jesus ain't die rich. Neither did Martin Luther Gandhi or Malcolm X. And one say life gon' constantly change, so don't get stuck in one space, you won't be open for things. What's happening, good people? I'm gonna get right to it. I might be here, I don't know. But as you see by the title, why America's falling apart. Just like I do, like a lot of times when I go on lives, I basically say a bunch of different things about the same topic. So when I look around social media, whatever, and you look out into society, it adds up why it's falling apart, right? So the easiest part is to say, America's racism breeds incompetence, and for all the people who were like, they didn't see what's happening now in America happening, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. That's because they're stupid. All of this stuff has been escalating, over the years, right? So, and I go because people like to just the Trump thing. Basically, we got a blackish president, and basically, the MAGA movement was basically the backlash. Like, let's get it back to doing things the white way. And that was, and they went so extreme with it that they expedited the falling apart of the country. And it's at this point, it's like, well, you can't blame anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't blame the immigrants. You can't blame black folks. You can't blame nobody. Like you basically did all of this stuff because you wanted to do it your way, and your way didn't work. So that's one thing. That's one part of it. Then you have the what about the future, the next generation? Well, when they say the future, the next generation, they're talking about the kids, and it wasn't like, I would say maybe 10, 15 years went by where the schools allowed kids to be out of pocket in school. So basically, now you got an out of pocket society with some of these young adults. And the schools just started scaling back. You can't bring your phone in class because, as you can see, even in social media shows us that, um, you can be social media famous, but short bus slow because it's entertaining. So what you wind up with is now people are like, what the society is going to do? And it's like, well, you really, as far as education, you didn't really um, worry about education, I'll say in the last 20, 25 years. So now you got people where are the smart people at? Smart people are sick of being overrun by stupidity. That's what that is. And so that's another reason why, America's falling apart. And then you got to talk about, like, the corporate greed, right? And you can't say you didn't see this prior. You can't say that. You saw corporate greed after 9/11 with Halliburton. That to me, that's a conflict of interest to have the vice president actually have a corporation, dialed in with the military so he can make money. That's just crazy. But then you had the Enron thing. You had the financial markets fail to. You got AIG. The Lehman Brothers thing. The housing bubble bursting, and the car manufacturers, the car market needing to get bailed out. And people forget the part about that is those people got bailed out and went right back to doing the same stuff, and now basically they're in the same situation now. So it's corporate greed. It's corporate greed. So, and this concept, oh, well, we gonna raise the price on everything, and they raise the price on so many things that now, corporations took L's and have gone out of business in the last 25 years. 20, let's just say since 2000, 26 years. If you're 20, if you're 30, if you sit down and think about it, how many businesses went out of business? Kmart, Toys R Us, Circuit City, like Radio Shack, Montgomery Ward gone. What is it with not Best Buy, not Best Buy. I'm tripping on that one. I was thinking, I forgot the doggone name of the place. I done forgot the doggone name, but it's a lot of them. It's a lot of them. Amazon put people out of business. Walmart put people out of business. Because it was Kmart, Big Lots, and stuff like that. But and now, and there's a lot of products that went out. So now you have all these people that survived. Now they're having an issue because, man, people can't afford to buy the product. But you saw this already. You saw this whole thing happen already. So, but what we're going to do, we're going to do the same thing all over again. It's like, oh, okay. Blockbuster, appreciate that. And now we're seeing the issues over and over and over again. I was thinking about phone companies. Sprint gone. Certain banks are gone because they got bought up by other things. When the next time you heard Nextel, you know what I'm saying? Like, think about it. Well, I'm gonna get to the family part too, fam. So because all these businesses have gone, there's no competition, which is another reason why America is falling apart. There is no competition in America. I ain't gonna say there isn't.
at all, but there's less competition and less creativity because the conglomerates, their big idea was, hey man, you know what we could do? We can get all the talent in the world and then bottleneck them. And it's like, oh, okay. So basically, you wanted to starve out all the greatness and just let the quote unquote cream rise to the top. So what happens is you basically killed the future of your own industries because you do the best when you have a plethora of greatness. But what did you do? Oh, well, on one end, you let anybody that you liked go through the gatekeeper's gate, and then you chopped up all of the great talented people. So there is less and less competition. You lowered the bar for what greatness is. You lowered the bar for what creativity was. So now you don't have what you're looking for anymore in society. As far as creativity, competition, innovation, you don't have it anymore because you tried to we're gonna get all of the intellectual properties and we're gonna get all the inventions and we're just gonna make them all out. It's like, yeah, okay, all right, and then people just go, well, I can't, I'm not gonna be in business with y'all because hey, you want me to create something and have a 99 and get 99% of the profits and I get 1. No, thank you. So now it's like, oh, what are we gonna do? You're not gonna do nothing. You're gonna suffer. So America's falling apart. Then, there's no nice way to, get about some of this stuff I'm saying, but the other reason America's falling apart because, and I say, and I'm gonna go from 2000 to 2026. America has gotten increasingly lazy and entitled. Now, people have what is that damn depressed animal in I was about to say Peter Pan, but it's not that. Winnie the Pooh, Eeyore. Let's just say 2000s, people were like Tigger. People had energy, people bouncing around, people just, out here, just having a good time doing the most. We went from energetic people to a bunch of depressed Eeyore people. Why would I work? Why would I get a job? Why would I try to buy a house? Why would I spend money? Why would I do anything? Life is just sad. And it's like, oh, okay. All right, so America's falling apart because people don't want to do, like, you got increasingly more and more people who want to do less and less and less and less and less. And the reason why that becomes a problem is because can you say the economy has gotten worse? Yes. Can you say the cost of living has went up? Yes. But you can also say people don't have the will to try to make it anymore. And that's really the issue. You don't have the will, you see less and less of people who have the will to even try to make it even against the odds. That's the issue. So what winds up happening is you have a generation of adults who act like they've given up on life and they ain't even started really living yet. So it's like, okay. So what happens when, if they're 25, 35, 45, and they're like, okay, so what do you think is going to happen when you go from 25 to 35, 35 to 45, 45 to 55? You're not going to make any move in life. And then what? Whose fault is it? It's yours at that particular point. So one of the reasons that why America is falling apart is because people have a quitter's mentality, and that, you know, that is increasingly becoming a problem, because the quitters want people to to take care of them while they're on their quitting journey. Let's just do that. So that's an issue. Another reason why I say America's falling apart, and you brought it up about the family dynamic. Um, it's not just divorces and single mother households. It's not just that. It's been a while where a lot of people, a lot of people have traveled. Let's just put it like that. A lot of people don't stay in their hometown anymore, or live in their hometown, or live near their hometown anymore. That has increased. You get what I'm saying? So you might have been born in Florida, but you live in Colorado. You get what I'm saying? Something like that. And what winds up happening is you see less and less family dynamic, because you're not actually near your family. And then you have that actual dynamic where sometimes a bunch of family members live in different cities and states. So sometimes if you actually went somewhere, then you could be around them. If not, you can't. So then when you bring kids into the mix, or so let's just say you get married or you just have kids. Now you might have two people who it can go from both of their families are in the city with them to none of their families are in the same city with them and the kids. So then it's like, man, so now you're trying to lean on society when, you're just in a different space than your family. Now your family got to fly in and to come see you, to come help you out. It's a whole different thing. And now that's one part of it, because you're disjointed, and then you gotta meet friends in cities or whatever. And I'm gonna go back to this, because less people are going to college, less people are going to the military, which means less people are meeting adult friends who are productive in their age group. Because people don't actually pay attention to this anymore. But usually what happened, especially with that moving stuff, you had friends in high school you were cool with, but the friends you met in college or when you was in the military were actually, you were tighter with them because you basically entered adulthood together. You get what I'm saying? So you got less people doing that. So now you have less of that framework of you and your college buddies. You went to adulthood together, and you had families together. You had families, and you're always there for each other type of situation. That's died out. So it's less and less connection. That's become a problem. Then you get to the court part of it, and it evolved. Like now, let's just say, like I said, I'm gonna go like 2000s. Court was super pro mother, super pro woman, super pro mother. 2026 is still pro woman, pro mother, but now it's been so much BS that has gone on in the last, let's just say, quarter century, that the court's like, oh man, we're gonna be on camera doing this stupid stuff. Like, oh God, like we can't justify the things that we once could justify. So then it makes the who's right and who's wrong as far as parenting, it makes it different now, because it used to be, mama was right, mama could always do the wrong, and now it's kind of like, nah, you playing games, G. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's a thing. So that's another reason why America's falling apart, because part of the issue becomes because of not because of technology, social media, but just cameras and recording devices in general. You even got to see in the court system how incompetent the 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 system is as far as law is concerned, even in family court. So now there's a lack of trust for society. Now, now I'm gonna get to something adding to that. Another reason why America's falling apart is because America has been covering up corruption for so long that corruption has become the norm. You get what I'm saying? So, like now, people are, how can I say this? People are dealing and grasping with the fact that, damn, like, is it really that bad? And it's like, yeah, it's that bad. Yes, your politicians are corrupt. The, your law enforcement is corrupt. Your business, your corporations are corrupt. Like there is no real square business, in America at this point because people have gotten off being corrupt for so long that they don't know how to do square business, which becomes an issue because now it's like, oh, it's a hustle. And since it's a hustle all the time, you make everybody that your corruption touches part of the hustle. So now, how can I say it? It's not the things that people say people are doing. It's that even the stereotypes of these people do this, these people do that. What it is this quiet, this silence. Every time you see a major story of, damn, like the police doing that, politicians doing that, businesses are doing that. It's just, oh, okay, well, that's what they do. It's like, hold, time out, G. Time out, man. These people got a hit squad. I mean, everybody's not bad. And it's like, oh, okay, this is what we doing, huh? These people are price gouging. It's not bad. Like, speaking of price gouging, like, if there's a natural disaster, all of a sudden the prices, if gas was $4 today, it's a natural disaster. Now it's 20. And people are, oh, well, people have to make their money, man. Like, okay, you better remember that. And I say that because what winds up happening, what has happened is over the years is a lot of people were for the corruption because it benefited them. And then what happened is the corruption basically hit their household, and now it's like they're trying to rethink life. And this is what I mean. I can do this. Okay, there were people. Since I'm black, I'm gonna use people who are not black. There are non-black people who had the black people need to do this and do that, and they're this, that. They had their stereotypes. And there were stories, like a lot of stories. There were stories of white college girls who got assaulted, and then their families would go to court and they'll let the white guys that assaulted them off the hook. It's just like nothing ever happened. They go back to campus. It is what it is. And then they had a person dead to rights. It wasn't like a setup. They had a person dead to rights, DNA, all kinds of stuff, and they just slap on the wrist. And I heard it back then to up to now, where you had parents like, oh wow, you treated my family like they were black. It's like, yeah, what's the problem? And then it's like, oh, now they know the system is corrupt. You get what I'm saying? Or like recently, they had the story of the Hispanic family. Somebody broke into the house and they basically subdued the guy, and they told the police everything that's going on, and we got him, we holding him down, just come arrest him, blah blah blah. And the cops came to the scene knowing everything that's going on and shot the guy that was subduing the other guy. And it was like, oh. And he's like, and the guy he's on the body cam footage. It was a good shoot. If it was me, I would have. And it's like, yep. And now that Hispanic family gonna go, oh, okay, this is what's right. Just like, when Obama was in office, all those crazy shootings, autistic kids, people in the street. You told people to sit down, just, and everybody was like, well, yeah, that's what it is. The corruption has started to hit everybody. Like just what you're talking about with the stock market. It's everybody got to make their money, and it's like, oh, but right before this quote unquote this Iran war, somebody just found out quickly, like, yeah, these people made this stock move, and they made this move right before the war kicked off, and then they made out with millions of dollars. It's a lot of insider trading going on. What are we talking about? See, it was cool when people we doing Nancy Pelosi, she got all this insider trading. It's like, yeah, they've been doing that though. They've been doing that. It's not a big deal. They didn't say anything really when Joe Biden pardoned his son. They didn't say people, oh, I can't believe that's gonna happen. Like, come on, though. Like, if you living under a rock, you thought something different was gonna happen? That's what you thought? The country's corrupt. When I hear people talking now, man, politicians, they need to send their kids to war. They were saying that 25 years ago. Guess what? It didn't happen then. It's not going to happen now. So this is why, like, America's falling apart, because you're not going to get that type of effort. Matter of fact, saying that in a way, I don't think y'all remember when Pat Tillman died. Because for people who don't know, Pat Tillman played in the NFL. He was a safety for the Cardinals, and he basically retired from playing football. Well, he took a leave of absence and said, "Look, I'm going to fight for my country." And he went to fight in was it either Iraq or Afghanistan? I forget which one. And he got killed. And he became martyred. He became a hero. They got a statue of him. But the crazy part about the story is he got killed by friendly fire by somebody else in the U.S. military. You see what I'm saying? And I say that to say, the military would have these crazy stories about them covering up friendly fire, actual crimes, brutal crimes against women. It was crazy. But people go, it's not a big deal. And it's like, oh, okay. That's what you think, huh? That's what you think. And then you have, people got out of those wars, and they started, offing themselves, because they did all of that under a false pretense. Basically, it's like, man, we over there for nothing. You get what I'm saying? So that's another reason why America's falling apart, because it's like, the evil is goes to the light too fast. Like, people used to get a long window before it's like, yeah, this would happen. Like, people looked at people as conspiracy theorists. Like, man, you kind of out there with what you're saying. It's like, and then because information was moving so fast, then people started to get the real and like, oh my God, this is what's going on. It's like, yeah, it's been what's going on. And using a war, told this story a long time ago on a channel. I was at work and I was talking to a guy, and right after the war on terror, 9/11, right after it went from Iraq to Afghanistan, right? And the guy was like, he was talking about it, and I was like, listen, man, they went to Iraq for oil, and they going to Afghanistan for heroin. He was like, what? I said, listen, what do you think Afghanistan makes? What do you think they have in Afghanistan? They got a lot of poppy field. They got a lot of opium over there. So you're gonna see a lot of opium in America after this set is done. And he's just looking. He's like, and he's sitting there, and he's like, because he was older than me, you know. He was older, and he was like, "What?" I said, "You gonna see." And then a few years, some years passed, and we got an opioid epidemic. I'm like, yeah. And the thing about it is, this wasn't the first time this happened. This happened in Vietnam. That's what happened in Vietnam. That's part of the heroin issue. You get what I'm saying? So it wasn't anything new. It was the same old play over and over again. And now you're going to see the same play over and over again. So what's happening? Yeah, I'm getting to the moral compass part too. I'm gonna throw that in there. Now you see it as, oh wow, like, how didn't they not know this? And it's like, they did know this. Y'all gotta understand something. The war on drugs was like the 80s, right? Prior to that, heroin was coming in because of, with Vietnam or whatever. And then, putting drugs in the black community, that happened with the Vietnam War and with the quote unquote war on drugs. So this is the third time that that has happened. Right. So it's like, this became the issue. So now it's like America's falling apart because you can't be the good guy and the bad guy at the same time. You know what I'm saying? You can't be Satan and Jesus. So what winds up happening is people see the hypocrisy in it. So that's a whole nother thing that goes along with that. So now, saying that, now I'm gonna bring another part into it. Why America's falling apart. America has a hypocritical immigration problem. Okay, so, and I've said this before. America's business model, as far as employment goes and jobs go, it's basically derived from slavery. That's like, people don't, you don't have quote unquote slavery, but the way America does employment is basically derived from slavery. You went from slavery itself to Reconstruction and the Great Migration, which means, bring us your sick, bring us your poor, but you really didn't pay those people. You get what I'm saying? All you gave them is the idea of whiteness, but you really didn't pay them. So that's the slavery model. And then during that, then there's Jim Crow, but even in Jim Crow, you separated, you did the caste system or whatever, but that's when white people went, we didn't have anything, but you had racism, right? So that was your payment. So that became an issue. Oh, I'm gonna get to that. So once you do that, you still weren't paying people. You get what I'm saying? And then World War II happened, and people think America is like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing in the world because America is the land of this and the land of that. What happened was World War II, basically, all of Europe, a lot of Asia was bombed, was destroyed. Let's just go from Europe to Japan, a lot of destruction from that era, because you got to think about it. All of Europe was in a world war. You had Russia in the Cold War, Korea. That's why it's North and South Korea now. Vietnam, U.S. war. Japan, bombing Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So America was basically the America then from that point was what China is now. Manufacturing. So making a lot of money hand over fist, right? So America made a lot of money again. Let's do that again. So because of that, America has been coasting. And what it did was, since you still don't want to pay people, we got to get immigrants to come. And they brought immigrants from everywhere who didn't want to pay. They say, the Mexican came, but you didn't want to pay Mexicans. You still don't pay Mexicans like that. You get what I'm saying? They benefit, in the racial hierarchy, but you really didn't want to pay them. That's a lot of under the table labor, which because people are doing cash, that's a thing. On the flip side, what about the Asians? Yeah, they came here on HB1 visas or whatever, and you got them nice little jobs, but you didn't want to pay them. You underpaid them for whatever skill that they had. You underpaid them. So this is the thing, and I bring this to the table for this reason: why America's falling apart. Because in you got people from Africa who came, other people from Asia. People bought into the American dream, and because they bought into the American dream, they basically sold out their homeland in some ways. Like, I ain't going back there. But then they had to realize these people, this country don't rock with me. It's like, exactly. So now you have a bunch of people here who have ties to other places in the world, and they're like, you know what? I'm just here to get the most out of this, to pimp this country and get the most I can get. And after I get what I can get, I'll go wherever I feel like it. I might stay, I might go. And I say that to say, because of that, there is no loyalty to America anymore. See, America's been disloyal to American citizens for so long. Now the people they brought into America is disloyal to the country. You got to understand, most other groups came here doing some janky stuff. You had an Irish mob, you had an Italian mob, you had a Jewish mob, got away with a lot of crime. You had the Hispanic community, they had a lot of cartels going. That business is been booming in America because America is just a drug user utopia. You get what I'm saying? So you had Colombians, Peruvians, Mexicans, Panamanians. What am I missing? People from El Salvador. You had people just, they thugging it out. Amish, he said Amish, but they're basically clicked in and they're allowed to get away with all these shenanigans. So you have these things going on. You have Asian, triad situation and Yakuza and their whole gang situation, and everybody in this country, whether they like to admit it or not, a lot of these other groups in this country have a lot of criminal ties. White America is really the government and the police force is kind of the base for their criminal ties. Government, military, police force, because it's used that way. And CIA, all that type of stuff. So you have all this criminality going on, and it's going unchecked, and it's a game basically. So because of that, there is no loyalty, because a lot of people don't want to say, wow, these people doing so well and those people doing so well. And it's like, have you noticed they don't bust the criminals in their community? Like y'all want to play these games like, people are just been penny pinching and working their butt off. No, not yes, but no. Yes, but no. How many of these buildings were bought with criminality? You don't want to know. They used to tell you Miami was built off of cocaine. Las Vegas was built off of, off of mob money, right? New York, it's construction and immigration. There's a lot of mob hustle going on over there. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of this country's wealth is not on the up and up. It's never been. It has never been. So, and since like I said before, since America doesn't really, they do shady business and then try to say we're doing square business at the same time, and it don't work. And then you get people in America start going, oh, okay. Basically, I work for a living, but if I want to make money, I got to do either sports, entertainment, or crime, or invention. But there's criminality in invention because people like stealing people's products and IPs. It's crazy. So this is part of why America's falling apart. Then, oh boy. Then I'm gonna say this. One of the reasons why America's also falling apart is because of religion. And religion in America has always been hypocritical. It's been a lot of bull. There's a lot of BS involved in it, and you saw it from the beginning. You see it now. America talks God, but participates in devilishness. You get what I'm saying? We're God-fearing and God this and God. It's like, cut it out. So sometimes you get caught because you have this weird dichotomy in America that if you're in a position of quote unquote power or prestige over another person, you can be devilish and hide behind God and Christianity and religion, and I'm doing the right thing. And it's like that's a problem. And it's always been a problem, and it's going to continuously be a problem. So the hypocrisy of it creates a lot of inner conflict and distrust in this country. Because I'm supposed to trust you. Like God didn't tell this country to do the vast majority of the stuff is done. Did God say go to Iran? Did God say, hey, just shoot down or was it Colombia and snatch up the president? God didn't tell you that. You know what I'm saying? God didn't say slavery is good. God didn't say that. You said that. You said God said that. God said Jim Crow's good. You said God said that. You get what I'm saying? God said, hey, if you commit a crime and you look like this, God forgives you. If you commit a crime but you look like that, we throwing you under the jail. God didn't tell you that. You get what I'm saying? God didn't tell you, hey man, you got a business? Man, I'm gonna steal your whole business from you. Because God told me I could be more successful with your business than you can. God didn't tell you that. You know, and people use these tropes, God is on my side, or I'm alpha. And it's like, it's the same thing. If you feel like you're in a position of power, you alpha, but you alpha to do all this janky stuff to other people. But if you alpha and you can do some BS to somebody and they're alpha too, and they hit you upside the head with a bat because of what you do, all of a sudden they got to go to jail. Oh, but I thought you was alpha though. You get what I'm saying? It's this hypocrisy that's, I'm strong, and because I'm strong and I'm in a strong position, I could actually throw you under the bus and you should never respond to what I do. And it's like, oh, okay. Right. So you could just pull out a gun and shoot at me because you just feel like you're but I shouldn't shoot back. That's what you're telling me. Yeah, if you shoot back, that's wrong. It's like, oh, okay. See, this is the problem with America. Because you want, might is right until Yeah, you're right, but might is right in America until uh how can I say that? Might is right, but retaliation is wrong. You get what I'm saying? That's where we're at. You know, I'm more mighty than you, so I'm right for doing this to you. I'm robbing you because I'm mighty. Oh, okay. I got a shotgun that pointed at you. Wait now, you wrong for that. I just got a 9. You got a shot. You wrong. How dare you? You got to get the electric chair. And it's like, this is what we doing. So it becomes a thing where you start looking at America like, oh, okay, you just a bunch of bitches in high places. Understood. And because of that, because of that reality, you wind up in situations where you start realizing, oh, we're gonna always have a problem, because this is not a country about. It's never been a country about the best. The best are put in the best positions. It was never a country that was set up to we're gonna put the best of the best of everything everywhere to make this country better. That has never been the case. It's never been the case. So you wind up, lie, cheat, steal, manipulate, and it's basically a cowardly nation. It's a cowardly nation. And what happens when you have a cowardly nation is people think that there's going to be revolts, and it's like, no. What's really going to happen is people have done that already. People just step away. People have accepted that, okay, y'all gonna be on some BS, so I don't have to participate. So that's another reason, America's falling apart, because people are not trying to participate in the concept of America anymore. Because the concept of America, all of the hypocrisy and the cracks have shown themselves to be, all the flaws outweigh the ideology. That's what I'll say. The ideal of what America is like, nah. The reality of America outweighs the fantasy of what it should be. It's like, so it is what it is at this point. So it's gonna fall apart. And one of the major things about this is there is no America's delusional, and people act like nothing needs to be fixed, and that's a major problem in America, because nothing needs to be fixed, because, oh, we're the greatest, we're the smartest, we're the greatest, the brightest, the best in the world. And it's like, hey man, you see all the infrastructure falling apart, right? But we're the greatest, and that doesn't mean anything because it'll last forever because we're the greatest. It's like, okay, yeah, you stupid. Don't worry about it. You dumb. No, I'm not dumb. I'm proud to be an American. Yep. You're just talking. Because if you looked around and you dug into the country, you'll know, hey, we need to fix this, we need to fix that, we need to fix this, we need to fix that, we need to fix this. We need to fix these things before, they become a problem. But what do you notice? People just, no thanks. We're just passing through. It's time for me to make a living, so I'm not even going to worry about it. It's like, I hear you, because remember, they talked about that with pollution. Like, hey man, they need to fix the pollution, man. What is America gonna be, if it's over polluted? Don't worry about it. Oh, okay. Don't worry about it. We're just gonna dump shit in the sea, huh? Yup. That's not gonna work out well in the end, but you don't care. You get what I'm saying? They said the same thing about energy. People don't even remember that America was supposed to be went green in the 70s. Solar green, like that was part of Jimmy Carter's initiative. But no, we can't do that. And now you know, we might need to do this green because you flying all over the damn world trying to steal oil from everybody else on the planet. And it's like, okay, y'all don't get it. But what is the oil gonna help you with? What is it gonna help you with? What is here? See, here's the thing. What is the oil gonna help you with if people can't afford cars? People ain't flying like that. People ain't, getting on cruises and trips like that. What could you need all the oil for? Oh, we got to maintain the military dominance over the world. People ain't going to the military no more because y'all fucking ain't paying. The military used to take care of people because it lived good compared to society. Now it's like, shit, I'm gonna do this military shit and come back and still be broke. I don't know, man. I don't know, G. Y'all took y'all don't want to fix the country, so y'all, how can I say this? Since you don't want to fix the country, you're not giving the country jobs to help fix the country. You get what I'm saying? If you wanted to fix the infrastructure, you'd have gave people jobs. It would have given people jobs. You want to fix what's going on in the energy field, you give people jobs. That'll fix it. Tech is different because, and I'm gonna say that this is part of the tech thing, but this is part of America. Part of why it's falling apart. Y'all want to hire people to do jobs and then fire their asses and tell them, and they know they finna be fired, and you expect the job to be done well. This is part of the stupidity. Like, hey man, look, we're gonna hire all these young men and women to make these tech and these programs and these AI programs, and we're gonna get them. AI is gonna run itself, and then we're gonna fire their asses. And I'm like, so you want techies, computer techies, people who do code, to make a code for AI, and then when the AI works the way you think, you're gonna fire. And it never dawned on you that they wrote the code so they could just backdoor the shit and shut it down on your ass, or make it janky. Like, nah, I'm not giving you all of my good work so you can fire me. Fuck you. It's gonna have some issues when I leave. That's what's gonna happen. And now it's like, oh, we need to hire these tech guys. Yeah. You think? Look at the housing market. People, and I hate to do that, but people, it's the same thing. People talk about, Mexicans work hard, Mexicans do hard work, they're this, that. And Mexicans started realizing these motherfucking people want to pay me pennies on a dollar, work my ass, work me and my friends to death, and then try to kick us out the fucking country. Oh, don't worry. There's going to be some holes in this fucking roof. Oh, don't worry. Oh, that load bearing wall, yeah, it might collapse in about 5 years, because don't worry about it. Don't worry. I'm not, we put in the yeah, we wired the house. We wired it janky as hell. We did the plumbing, but we left some spots, some holes in it. It might leak. Don't worry about it. Since you won't pay me, pennies on a dollar and kick me out. No, you're not finna get a nice big house for that. No, hell no. And it goes back to the same thing. Ironically, the same stereotypes about black people. You get black people on these jobs, they're not gonna do a good job. No, bitch. People just stop doing good jobs because, like, oh, you want me to do all the work, you take all the money home, and then you fire my ass? No. Let's see how good you are. I'm gonna do half of the fucking job and see if you know how to do the rest. Since you so goddamn good and smart, you'll see where the mistakes are, aren't you? Won't you? Because you're the genius, you're the one running the show. And no, they didn't see the shit. They don't care. This is why America's falling apart. They're like, okay. Then, ain't no nice way to say what I'm about to say. So I was thinking about it, but going back to the delusion, America has gotten to a point where you can't talk your way out of this shit. See, America got delusional, like, oh man, America think it's gonna manifest fixing. Oh, we're gonna speak it into existence. No, no, you can't speak something into existence when you physically effed it up. You got to fix it. You got to fix it. So now that's why you get all this overly analytical shit going on. That's why people are in the, well, the reason why I can't do this is because when I was 7 years old, I fell down a slide backwards, and the trauma from that made me never want to use my hands or feet in any type of way. So I just want to sit here and do nothing and watch the trees grow, but don't water them. Watch the berry trees have berries, but I don't water and I don't fertilize. I don't do anything. The bee's gonna do it. The sky's gonna do it. The water's gonna do it. The sun's gonna do it. What you gonna do to help though? Nothing. It's all gonna work out. It's all God's plan, buddy. Okay. Y'all just delusional as shit now. You got 75% of America, men and women, looking for a high value man to fix their goddamn problem. So it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. And then, for the people who have solutions, this is the killer part. Going back to like the corporate structure. I look at it at this point. I think if you had 10 Americans that had solutions for all of America's problems, whether that be jobs, energy, fixing the balancing the budget, manufacturing, education. It's just, as the healthcare, like, had real solutions and you could see and fix it. At this point, I think America kill all of them. No, man, you gonna fix this shit? No, we can't help it. You gonna fix education? Bah, dead. You gonna fix healthcare? Bah, dead. You gonna fix the budget? Bah, dead. You gonna fix energy? Bah, dead. Yeah, it's like, we can't do that. I know. I know. It's like, no, we're not like that. Yes, this country is very much so like that. Very much so like that. This clean water? Why? Because those people who fix the problems and make money, that's not what we want. I know. Cure cancer? Dead. I think that's already a thing, though, isn't it? It's at a point where, and I hate to say this, but people know this. Like, oh yeah. Hey man, you figured out an energy source that the world could use perpetually without pollution. Yes, I did. Don't tell nobody. What do you mean, don't tell nobody? Why not? Because they're just gonna kill me and act like it don't exist because they want to keep making money. Don't tell nobody. Or they'll kill me and take it, and then give everybody a bill for it. That's what it is. So it's gonna keep falling apart, man. It's gonna keep falling apart, and and I'll say this. I forgot to say this. One of the other things is this: America's falling apart because America's lost its luster with the world. It used to be America. Used to be, oh man, America, America. Now people are like, And part of that is, and this has been going on for a very long time. A lot of white America that has traveled, y'all really went around the world doing some wild bullshit. Just wild, out of pocket. So, Europe, like Americans, who you think it was? White Americans, Asia, Americans. Now, and here's a weird part about it. Whether it be Europe, Asia, Central and South America, even Africa, it hasn't really turned all the way on them, because what happens is people are disgusted at Americans, but they have this thing where they still kiss white people ass. You know what I'm saying? It's a weird, and it's like, oh, okay. That's the part that I'm talking about is turning, because it's like people are starting to like, nah, no, thank you. Because as a Black American, man, we get we get y'all cowardly disrespect because a white guy spit in your face, and then we come around and it's like, nah, I'm a nigga and you want to spit in my food. And it's like, oh, slow down before I beat your ass. And now you see like the world is kind of having a meltdown because they're dealing with their own cowardice and hypocrisy at the same time. And it's like, no. You got to deal with that on your own. But it's juxtaposed with people's ideal of America, or white America, being above everybody else. And I was like, nah, they kind of stupid. It's like, yeah, tried to tell you. Yeah. So it's crazy. But, I'm going to get out of here, man. I'm going to take me a shower, get to sleep, go to work. I appreciate y'all for rocking me. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
It looks like a job for Superman.
Do this,
spoken from the lips of the young or the old. Fear of me.
Yeah. Gotta put it all in.
And they are Superman.
All the way.
I guess I'm taking off the cake through the glasses in the trash. Being super is great, saving y'all is such a drag. Even God took a break, me I ain't coming back. I got one life to live, if you don't like it, that's your ass. Cause nobody saved me, plus when I'm drunk, I'm just a peon. I could use somebody just like I'm the kings of neon. This world is cold as ice, mixed with salt, mixed with freon. They got me pissed off, but that's better than being peed on. For eons, human beings took kindness for weakness. When you constipated, you start to appreciate shit. Put before you life and death, and you just gotta choose. The kryptonite life means you still follow the rules. If your credit's messed up or your bills ain't paid, then it's getting disconnected. Can't nobody say the day. And I can fly, leave a building in a single bound, but I can't stand fair weather friends, and I just fly around. My super friends is Justice League. Only folk I kick it with. Kill Lex Luthor, so what? We had to finish it. Kids play games and adults play for keeps. And me, I play to win, but I ain't playing in these streets. And life is not a joke. Then again, it ain't this serious. Superman can say the day, but God can say the Superman. Saga of the kryptonite, life just ended. You enjoy listening? Man, I'll finish it. Lois, come holler at me. I got an ice couch. Thank you for coming out. Listen, I knew you would like it because we made it. I'm so frigid and so fly.